What is good, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to my village of Nintendo Switch and gaming news. Once again, we've got a slate of awesome articles to go over and topics to discuss, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So Best Buy says that they will have limited quantities of the Nintendo Switch in stock tomorrow. That is May 21st. Now, I do have to dispute that just a little bit, because when I picked up this game, which I'll be talking about at the end of this video, very good by the way, but when I picked up this game, I took a picture of Best Buy's stock because I had to drive all the way over to the Best Buy in order to get that game, Best Buy Gamers Club, get the discount. You guys know the deal. And there were a number of Switches in there, and you guys are seeing that picture right at this point. So if I were you, I would still check your Best Buy to see if they have any there. Obviously, I've been going around to different stores here in my city, and there have been Switches here and there. Now, they don't last very long, but there are Switches there, and it's not like there's like a line of people to get them. Anytime I go for like a major Nintendo 3DS release or a bigger Nintendo Switch release, they always have Nintendo Switch units there, anywhere from 20 to 30 units depending on where I go. So just make sure you check out your local Best Buys, especially when they release stuff like Fire Emblem. That's usually when the Nintendo reps go there and they get the shipments in for all their stock when it comes to video games. And Nintendo is restocking fast. They're restocking really quickly, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. They just look at the news and say, oh, it's sold out, and they don't even go check. Just make sure you go and actually check instead of only going once every now and then. You need to go pretty much every single week or so you can see what stock they have in. Definitely go earlier in the week, and make sure you ask questions. Ask the people like, hey, when do you guys get your shipments in? It's not some type of secret time. It's usually at a particular time, a particular day. So just ask some questions and you should be able to find a Nintendo Switch if you're still having problems finding one. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. We do have some more information on Splatoon 2 when it comes to the hero mode in the game, or the single player. So Marie is Agent 2 of the new Squid Break Splatoon. She is keeping a close watch on the Octarians while Captain Cuttlefish is away. Agent 4 does not know of the Squid Sisters. Ammo Knight's shop manager Sheldon will support you. Some of the weapons might be exclusive to hero mode. You might be able to use other weapons from hero mode in multiplayer if you fulfill a certain objective. This could be related to how many eggs are collected while using the weapon. Sheldon is renting weapons out in order to conduct some tests to obtain authorization for field use. New enemies including the Ocpillion and Octo Strike. So what I like about this is that they're having a link between the single player and the multiplayer. One of the cool things about Bayonetta and some of the other games that have came out, but Bayonetta, it was all linked together. Like in single player, you earn rings and do all that, and then you can use that in the multiplayer. In the multiplayer, you earn stuff, and then you can use that in the single player as far as halos. I said rings, halos. And you can do vice versa. So that is really cool that they're doing that, whereas it's weapons in this one, and it's connected maybe through like the eggs that you collect that they're talking about there. But it's weapons, and that gives you incentive to go through, beat the single player, do the best that you can, so you might get a cool weapon or two, and you can't really complain because everyone has access to the single player game. It's not an online thing at all. So I love the fact that they're doing that, and that just makes Splatoon be more of a full and complete game, because I think this time they're going to have a lot of different modes and options that people aren't really going to have to complain about like they did with Splatoon 1 when that launched. And even though we all knew that we were getting more content and you were just buying the base package, people still complained even though that. But hey, at least this time it seems like you won't be able to complain, since they do have the horde mode in there. They are going to have the single player plus a complete multiplayer and far more local multiplayer options with multiple Nintendo Switch systems. So I love what they're doing with Splatoon 2. This is going to be a huge game. We've talked about how Japan is going crazy for it. It's dominating the Amazon sales charts there. So we'll see what happens. I do think it's going to do very, very well just based on the type of game that it is. And back-to-back with ARMS next month and Splatoon right after, this summer is going to be insane for the Nintendo Switch. Alright, and moving on to the last article before we get to the main topic here. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 will launch for the Nintendo Switch this fall in the West. So now we heard about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 in terms of the Japanese launch, which was this fall, but now we have a confirmation for the West. We also got a couple screenshots of the Nintendo Switch version, so the native Nintendo Switch version, And here's the article here. So the Nintendo Switch version of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 will launch this fall in North America. We're still waiting on a confirmation for Europe. Bandai Namco has announced. So on Nintendo Switch, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 will feature ad hoc play, motion control support, and 2-player battles on one system using the Joy-Con controllers. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, but is lacking some of those new features that are coming to the Nintendo Switch version of the game. And I think this is a fantastic title to pick up on the Nintendo Switch, especially because it's going to have a lot of that content that came out for PS4 and Xbox One versions, in addition to some new content or some new gameplay modes in terms of what you can do with the Joy-Con controllers and all of that. So I love that. And Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, that game didn't come to the Wii U at all, and the 3DS games are very different from these ones here. So I'm glad this game is coming. Now, all we need is Naruto, and we will be set when it comes to anime, because we are getting One Piece Unlimited World Red, although there's some news on that. I did report there's going to be a physical version for North America. Apparently that is not happening. It might just be Europe and Japan, or just Japan only at this moment, but the physical version for One Piece isn't happening. But either way, the game is still coming digital only in terms of here in North America. But yeah, we'll have One Piece, we'll have Dragon Ball, we just need Naruto, and we'll be good. I would love to see them bring back the Genkato Ninja Taisen or Clash of Ninja series, how it's called here in the States. So I would love for them just to bring that back. I think that would be perfect trifecta when it comes to anime. I would love to see Bleach even come back, maybe even a port of some of the older ones and some of the other Bleach games out there. So if they can just bring more of the anime style from Bandai Namco to Nintendo Switch, I'd be happy. Personally, for me, I hate the Ultimate Ninja series, but I just want it to come for the cinematics, just so I can stream it for you guys, because it'd be cool to stream, because the cinematics in that game are insane. Even if you don't like Naruto, like, the cinematics are top notch. So I would love to see them just bring it over, just so I can do that. But we'll see what happens in the future when it comes to Bandai Namco and bringing over more anime games to the Nintendo Switch. Alright, and lastly, we're going to be discussing this game right here. And guys, look, I've played all of the Fire Emblem games. If you follow me on Twitter, I talked about things feeling good because I talked about the Fire Emblem games, the 3DS here. And this one, it might just take the cake when it comes to pure gameplay. Now, I don't know about story at this point because I'm still very early into it. I've done a few different battles here, but I'm still very early into the game. But Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, really turns things up a notch when it comes to various different gameplay combat mechanics. I'm going to go over some of the great changes in this game and why you need to pick it up. So changing classes is much better, and you can do so pretty much anytime you're at the Mila Shrines, which is very different from the other games where you have to have some type of, you bought some type of thing, I forgot what it was called, like a class or master class seal or something like that, and you have to purchase it, and there's not a lot of them around, or they're really expensive, and then you use that to change your class. Whereas this time you just go to a shrine and pretty much pray, and you can change classes from there. Now, the attributes of what you do, how it works, is different from previous Fire Emblem games, so you need to read up on that, but it's still cool that you don't have to buy an item in order to do that. And I think that's the name of the game when it comes to the changes that they've made. They've made things more streamlined and better going forward. Now, another thing that I really like is that arts are now unlocked through weapon usage. Now, there might be more being unlocked just through leveling up, but for right now, I'm just getting weapons that can have different skills on them, and then you unlock them by using that weapon. But when you're in battle with that weapon, it doesn't just trigger automatically or randomly like the other Fire Emblem games. This one, you actually pick what skill you want to use, and it costs. There's a cost associated to that, so like 1 HP or something like that. So I love that, because then I can actually gauge, like, okay, I'm going to use this art in this time. I don't have to just hope and pray through the luck stat. That makes this game already a notch above Fire Emblem, or at least the previous Fire Emblems on the Nintendo 3DS in terms of combat, because they're all very similar, how you move, how it works, all of that. Although the weapon triangle is pretty much Dunskies in this game. The weapon triangle is gone, and it might be good that the weapon triangle is gone, because you can really focus on the core mechanics of positioning, strategy, using your arts, and all the other stuff, the terrain. Another great thing is also like healing spells. That also takes, once again, it uses HP. Magic uses HP. There's other things that influence it instead of it being a consumable, because healing and magic were consumables beforehand. Even weapons at one point were consumables, but now that is all gone, and there's a cost associated with it, like using your own HP in order to do something. So I absolutely love that as well. Another thing that's really good about this game is the dungeon crawling is awesome. I love the fact that you can go into 3D dungeons, you can explore, you can hit things, collect stuff, get treasure chests. That is another awesome feature of Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, and I cannot wait for what they do with the Nintendo Switch version. Imagine this, like, it's so cool on that game, on the 3DS, but the 3DS is nothing when it comes to how it looks, what you can do compared to Nintendo Switch. Just imagine what they can do with 3D dungeon crawling and everything that they're adding to this game. And the bonus experience after battles, that's another thing. Like, sometimes leveling up in Fire Emblem games can be kind of hard, especially if you're playing on harder difficulties, because some people just suck. But with this one, everyone gets bonus experience. Now, if you do more, you'll get more bonus experience. But in this one, everyone does. So even if someone didn't really get much action in it, well, they'll still get some experience so they don't lag super far behind. So there are a number of changes that pretty much make this, in terms of gameplay, pure gameplay, the best Fire Emblem game on the 3DS, in my opinion. Now, we still need to wait and see the story and other things and how the combat and the classes and everything progresses. But right off the bat, you can tell that there was a lot of new ideas put into Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. Heck, even how you talk to people in the villages, how you can move from one point to another in there. That is great. That is so good. And it's just maybe a precursor to what we could be seeing on the Nintendo Switch, because whew, that is going to be awesome. It's going to be full HD. It's going to be the first home console Fire Emblem game in so long. I cannot wait to see what they do. That is going to be a massive, massive system seller for the Nintendo Switch. I guarantee you guys it's going to do very, very well, especially with all of the improvements and changes that they're making to this one. We'll see what happens there. Let me know what you guys think about Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia on Nintendo 3DS, in addition to all the different stories that we discussed today. Also, please make sure you check out the links in the description below. We do have links over to our Facebook, Twitter page, social media. Give us a like and a follow on all of that, just so you can stay up to date on all the latest information that I put out on PlayerEssence. In addition to that, also make sure you check out our Patreon page, where you can pledge any tier and be entered in to win the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Guardian Amiibo. We have prize tournaments, Discord, voice chat, priority access to my friends list, and so much more. So please make sure you check out our Patreon page and support PlayerEssence in order to get you guys better quality live streams and content on the channel. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.